Do you see any value or benefits in the U.S. government building a reserve of Bitcoin?
We're not allowed to own Bitcoin. The Federal Reserve Act says what we can own, and we're not looking for a law change. That's the kind of thing for Congress to consider, but we are not looking for a law change at the Fed.
All right, so let's get into the stock market crashing as well as the cryptocurrency market crashing after the FOMC meeting with Jerome Powell and his statement. So we had the Fed rate cuts, and we also had a very interesting statement made by Jerome Powell regarding the Feds and Bitcoin. So for the most part, what was stated is that the Fed would not hold Bitcoin. They can't hold Bitcoin, and they don't plan for that to change unless it's up to Congress. So for the most part, what we can say is this: it's expected for this to happen because they are the Fed. Bitcoin, they're not gonna allow Bitcoin, or they're not gonna want to allow Bitcoin to overtake the power of the dollar, right? But for the most part, it seems as if that's a nightmare that may happen in the near future for them, a nightmare for them, as Bitcoin continues to surge, as individuals are using Bitcoin as an asset, especially to hedge against the inflation, hedge against the economic downturns and turmoil, which can get worse in the near future. So for the most part, what Fed Chief Powell said about crypto that may have aided Bitcoin's rally to 100K. So this is old, but for the most part, what he's saying though, I don't think it's gonna hurt Bitcoin. I think it's going to help it. So the actual drop in Bitcoin, I think, is going to be beneficial in the long run, and cryptocurrency altogether. I feel as if this is going to be beneficial in the long run. We can go to one of these. They're not allowed to own Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, which is okay. And this is what I'm saying is this is okay. This one I don't like going to these websites. It's okay. It's okay. We're not allowed to own Bitcoin. The Federal Reserve Act says we can own, and we're not looking for a law change. So it's the law. There's some exclusion within the law, is what he's saying, on what the Federal Reserve can actually own. And so he's saying because within the Reserve Act, it says that what they can own in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is not one of those things, or it's something that's not. It's something listed, or I don't know. I haven't read the act yet. I'll take a look into it to see exactly what is entailed. But for the most part, he's saying based on the law, they can't hold it. So that's fine, That's the kind of thing for Congress to consider. You see, this it leaves an open window. All right, but we're not looking for a law change at the Fed. So for the most part, that's cool, that's fine. We don't care, because the reason why I say that is this is expected to happen, because I always say technicals always lead before the actual events take place. So this is expected to happen. So let's move on. Let's go on to the charts. Let's see exactly what we can kind of pinpoint on the chart, and what I would think we need to do going forward. And again, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. Just take this as educational, informational purposes only, because I'm just here to provide education and just give you a little briefing on what's going on, right? So let's go and move on, right? All right, so Bitcoin. So what we're seeing with Bitcoin is exactly what was expected. And this is what I always say. Technicals will always show you what is going to happen in the future. It just won't tell you the exact event that will cause it to happen. So for the most part, whenever anything rally, it has to retrace. In order for it to confirm the actual rally, it has to retrace, especially if it leaves gaps and the extension that took place leaves a wide open gap that needs to be filled before it actually continue doing this move. So what we're seeing is a real good power move from Bitcoin from the past few weeks since November 4th, and how it rallied after the accumulation phase. So this is what was expected, and especially what is going on now is price coming down. And I could have told you that this was going to crash based on the actual technical. So now if we take a look, and this is what I could have told you, highs are broken and traded back into, and that's what we need to happen in order for price to come down. And then so I'll say around December 17 was the actual day. 18th was probably the actual telltale sign that Bitcoin was gonna fall. And then like I said, technicals will tell you beforehand. So that one move would have told you exactly what was gonna happen. Or 17th, and then that one move would have told you exactly what happened on the 18th, based on the actual technicals. Now, even if you go down to the lower time frame, you can start seeing how it started being broken down at the highs, and then the previous high was taken out, but it was traded back into. So we need this to come down. This is going to come down. It's clear to see it's going to come down, right? So now this is what to expect. This is what to look for. These zones right here are zones that need to be taken out. All right, here, these zones they need to be taken out, at least into this accumulation zone right here, because it rallied so much. What's going to happen now is a lot of people caught up in FOMO. They bought at the high, and they're literally being taken out right as we speak. Right at this moment as we speak, they're being taken out because they bought at the high. Don't buy anything at the high. Why would you buy Bitcoin at 100K? Right? So you want to wait for the dip in order for you to buy. Whenever it's a bullish trend, wait for the dip in order for you to buy. Whenever it's a bearish trend, and if you're trading something like futures or forex or whatever, or you putting in options plays, if it's a bearish trend, you want to wait for the highest points in order for you to sell. So this is pretty much law. That's what is set up when it comes to trading and investing. So now what we can anticipate here, Bitcoin is going to drop, and a lot of people are going to panic. In a few days, you'll see it go back up to confirm the fact that it's going to continue to drop. And it's okay. Whenever you see this, that's fine, because when it goes, it has to come back up in order to confirm the drop. So a lot of people might buy when it starts going up. Don't buy yet. We need these zones to be taken out before we put anything in. Now, these are the scenarios which may take place. Pay close attention and watch what I am telling you and what I'm saying, right? These are things to look out for. We're going to a higher time frame. We can go to the weekly. As you can see, even on time frame, the higher time frame, these zones right here need to be taken out. They need to be taken out. And monthly is even more clear. As you can see, the accumulation was taking place down here, and this is a full gap. We need, for every buy candle you see, we need a sell, right? So even this right here, you see how this was a long sell, and this came down to the bottom. Even this is considered a gap, and Bitcoin may even come down to this point, but I don't think it will. So what I think what it will do is it'll come down into the 60K to 70K range. So I'll say 65K to 70 to the 74, 73K range. So once it hit that range, what we want to see is price to do something like this. Now, what I said, there's a few scenarios that can take place where Bitcoin can run all the way down to the 70K range, run up, and it can continue running all the way up, or it can continue coming down even more. Now, if it continue coming down even more and it cross into this zone here and continue coming down, then Bitcoin is dead. if that's what I'm saying, you have to watch this closely. If it comes into the zone and it runs up and it creates some kind of market structure shift like this, then Bitcoin will continue running up, because now it's showing you exactly what it's doing, right? So right now what we're seeing is, especially 11 days into before the end of the month, if this candle closes as a doji like this, then we can anticipate the next months will be bearish. The next few months will be bearish for this right here to be cleared up, right? So don't panic if you're trading Forex. If you're trading anything that allow you to make money with sales, then this is going to be the perfect opportunity for that, right? So 2 days before the weekly candle close, and it's going to close as in engulfing. So if it takes this out, then we're going to see a retracement into this weekly candle next week, and then it's going to continue running down. So for the most part, that's what it is. So it breached the previous highs, and we're going to see something like this happen, right? And these zones will be taken out. So around the 72K range will be taken out, and that's when you should be looking to see if it's ready for buys. Of course, I'm gonna drop videos to let you know this stuff. So that's for the most part. That's what happened. Now, if we take a look, if we add technical, if we add indicators to all this, if we add the MAs, you can start seeing that the weaker MAs, they're being crossed at the moment, but on the lower time frame, you can see the stronger MAs are being crossed as well. So now if you take a look on the monthly time frame, what you'll see is all the way down here, we're still on a bullish trend, and we're still up, you know what I'm saying? So but the thing is, we have to wait for price to come down, clear these zones, and get back into the accumulation zone in order for it to continue to rally. So this is not something to be too alarmed about. For the most part, it's just the cycles of the market. Every market goes through these cycles. So now let's take a look. I want to take a look at exactly another thing that you need to pay attention to is how many heavy hitters are actually invested in Bitcoin. So Jerome Powell and the FEDS, they can say all this stuff based on their actual rule book, the Federal Reserve Act and stuff like that. That's fine. But there are a lot of institutions and a lot of big boys who have their hands in Bitcoin, and we want to see exactly what this looks like. So focusing, taking a look at this, what we see is what the status of individuals who are actually owning Bitcoin and public companies. So you see MicroStrategy, we know MicroStrategy for sure. Look at how many Bitcoins they have, 439,000 Bitcoin. You have Tesla owning Bitcoin. Riot was a stock that I used to these two stocks I actually traded. I'm gonna take a look at them and see if we can drop some videos on them. Of course, right now they're going down because Bitcoin. I think Riot was into the mining, but we'll see. Clean Spark as well, traded that, and then we going down the list. Now you're gonna start seeing some heavy hitters. So US 207,000 Bitcoin. Even China 194,000 Bitcoin. So these countries are owning Bitcoin as well, and look at the value of the Bitcoin that are being owned. So now if you go into the private companies, not even the private, let's go to the ETF, right? So ETFs that own Bitcoin. Now take a look at this. BlackRock, right? BlackRock, the value that they own is 52 trillion. Is that billion? 52 billion. Approximately $52 billion in Bitcoin, and these are 553,000 Bitcoins that they hold. And then you have Grayscale, you have Fidelity, and so this is what I'm saying. There's there's just good things going on with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the most part, yeah, I knew it. Riot is a mining company. I knew it. So because I used to trade this before it was big, I used to trade this. But I'm thinking like 2020, 2021, or 2019, one of them. But so it's safe to say Bitcoin is here to stay, right? And this website, you can go to treasuries.bitbo.io to get this information. I'll put the link in the bio, or in the bio, the description, so you can just use that. But for the most part, it's not too much something to be alarmed about. You just have to understand how the market works, and you just have to be patient. So, of course, we're gonna have bloody days and bloody weeks and even bloody months. But whenever there's red in the market, that means there are discounted shares, discounted stocks, discounted crypto. That means that's it's time for you to go shopping. For the most part, we're all good. That's what I'm looking for in Bitcoin, and this is exactly previously what I predicted in 2021, that Bitcoin was going to crash. Based on my analysis, this stuff is still up here, which is beautiful. And from this zone, I predicted this whole crash happening. So this is not something that I'm new to. This is what we do. So Sharks of Wall Street, let's make this money. Subscribe, like, comment. If this is very helpful, let me know. If you're into Bitcoin, let me know. If you're into Ethereum, let me know. Just share your thoughts. Share your thoughts on the FEDS. The FEDS did a sweep. The FEDS doing a sweep right now. But if the market is bloody, that all that means is we're on a discount and we're going shopping. So for the most part, let's go, man. Let's go. Subscribe. Peace.